from RECHS News Center. I'm Elizabeth Owens. Tonight's edition of NBC Nightly News has been rescheduled in order to bring you a special news report. News anchors from around the globe have been working on stories that involve weather. Tonight they are here and abroad to share their stories. Tonight's first news anchor is Cameron Collins.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Hello, I am news anchor Cameron Collins, and this is the evening news about a hurricane named Hurricane Patrick, off the coast of our own little state, North Carolina. During the hurricane, you can expect hailstorms. If you are living in the North Carolina, you will need to stay inside and board up all windows just to be safe. In other news, there has been a massive snowing in the Appalachian Mountains, and sightings of avalanches have been very frequent. Luckily, there has been no reported deaths or injuries. This has been the evening news, and our next anchor will be Michelle Lawson.
Hi, I'm Michelle Lawson with tonight's weather in the news. I have been informed that there is severe weather for parts of Rowan County. The weather we are experiencing is the result of Hurricane Bill. Bill hit North Carolina's southern coast on Monday. There are heavy downpours, severe lightning, and high winds up to 65 miles per hour. Golf ball-sized hail has started to pour down in Upper Rowan also. Flash flooding is to be expected throughout scattered parts of Rowan County. If you experience this type of weather, please evacuate to higher level grounds. Please take caution while transporting due to fallen power lines and trees. The weather is expected for the next 24 hours, so please take caution. Thanks for tuning in, and this is tonight's weather in the news with Michelle Lawson. And now to our next anchor, Kadisha Galloway.
Hi, my name is Kadisha Galloway, and I have the weather report for RECHS on water pollution. Water pollution around the world is bad. Many people don't realize how bad the pollution is because no one really talks about it. A lot of people realize it, but they don't know how to help it, so they act like they don't see it. Some of the many types of water pollution are surface water pollution and chemical water pollution. Surface water pollution is when people throw or dispense liquids or spills into rivers, oceans, or lakes. By doing this, you are damaging the fish and sea creatures that live in these areas around and the people that eat these creatures. This also puts bad chemicals into the creatures that eat the stuff, and the pollution lands on it. Chemical water pollution is poisonous to many forms or adequate life, and it can slow down their development. Runoffs or pesticides can also poison adequate life, and then birds, humans, and other animals may be poisoned if they eat infected fish. Thank you for listening, and our next co-anchor is Jacob Bowman.
Alright, this is Jacob Bowman, and what a terrible evening this is as we are under a tornado warning to the following counties: Rockingham, Alamance, Guilford, Richmond, and Montgomery counties till 10:45 p.m. Please take these following safety precautions. If you have a basement, go in it. If you do not, go in the lowest level of your house, like a bathtub. Stick a mattress on top of it so nothing like bricks, twigs, tree branches, or a car will not hit you. Alright, and if you're like out of your house or something, please try maybe going in a ditch, as a tornado might go over you, but maybe not. Alright, this tornado is expected to be an F5 with wind speeds up to 318 miles per hour. So if you're in a ditch, you might get blown away. Alright. Damage is expected to be catastrophic, as the bark from trees may be taken off, and strong buildings will be ripped off from their foundation. Whatever you do, do not go under an underpass, as this will not work. And for more news, this is our next co-anchor, Samantha Bruce.
Good afternoon, I'm Samantha Bruce, and this is your news report. A day ago, tornadoes wreaked havoc in Tornado Alley. Tornado Alley is located near the middle of the U.S., running from Texas up to Kansas and higher. The tornadoes destroyed more than 600 homes, leaving people with nothing more than the clothes they have on their bodies. Victims described the tornadoes as frightening, loud, and unbelievable. 20 people were killed, another 20 were wounded. The victims say they will never forget this event and pray to God that this will never happen again. Thank you, I'm Samantha Bruce, and here's Cameron Moore.
This is your reporter, Cameron Moore, coming to you today from a helicopter over Louisiana. There was recently a hurricane that blew through on Monday. It left 30,000 people without homes. As of right now, it is said to take 6 years to put all these people back in their homes. It is estimated to take $10 million to build their houses. As I'm flying through Louisiana, I see people on top of their houses waiting to be lifted to safety. And that's all for today's news. Thank you for listening. The next anchor will be Chuck Spady.
Hey, this is Chuck Spady. Today in the news, the residents of Texas had to leave the state because of the massive heat wave. It left 10 dead and 200 injured. The heat temperature got up to 175 degrees and dry. The heat started rising at 3 p.m. It was caused by two warm fronts forming together. One warm front came from Mexico, and the other one came from Los Angeles. The heat made people's insides dry up, and it made the heart beat faster to pump blood into your circulation, but it was so hot that the heart couldn't do it fast enough. People were told not to leave their homes, but people still left the state of Texas to go to other states to get away from the massive heat. We will keep you in check with all the information of this massive heat wave. Thank you for listening. Now we're sending it to Taylor Berry.
Good evening, everybody, from the Storm Tracker Weather Center. We have some severe weather to get you caught up on. So let's go right to our Storm Tracker Doppler radar. We have multiple reports of hail going on across the area. So let's start you off from north to south. So first, starting from the north to the Virginia line, the one cell has produced penny-sized hail. Though it is beginning to weaken just a bit near Stoneville, North Carolina, it still looks strong. A new cell in Whitworth is expected to cause quarter-sized hail and wind up to 65 miles per hour. A thunderstorm warning is in effect till 9 p.m. Emergency workers are asking people to stay inside. More storms are forming in the west. We will keep you updated. You may also get updates at myweatherreportnow.com. And our next newscaster today is Austin Frederick.
Good evening, my name is Austin Frederick and I'm going to be your severe weather updater from the central United States. Thus far in 2009, the severe weather is not as drastic as last year in the category of tornadoes, such as we've only had 21 deaths from 9 massive tornadoes. There have been a little fewer than 600 tornadoes witnessed. Now here we will have an overview of one of the deadliest tornadoes. On February 10, 2009 in Oklahoma, there was a devastating tornado with 8 casualties. The sheer massiveness of it broke a record that was made in 1880. The states that were hit with tornadoes this year are as follows: Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Missouri. Next, I'm going to give you a review of just a few flooding accidents. A combination of snow melting from heavy winter snows, heavy rain, and ice jams brought flooding to rivers in North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota, with records peaking in at least 10 locations from March 25th through the 29th. One of those places was the Red River at Fargo, North Dakota, where the river overflowed to 0.72 feet above its previous record in 1897. Record and more than 22 feet above flood stage. Also, heavy rain brought flooding to at least 6 counties in southern West Virginia, destroying at least 300 buildings and 50 bridges in Mingo County. In weather concerning thunderstorms, a strong area of low pressure trailing a line of thunderstorms down hundreds or even thousands of trees across northern Alabama and Georgia on April 13, 2009. Some hit vehicles and homes, killing a person in a car in Atlanta. 220,000 customers were left without power in Atlanta. Other wake lows on April 14th down trees in Jacksonville and Miami, Florida. And with that, this concludes the severe weather review. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. Now, with our next newscaster, Alika Neal.